I had a chance to see Christy last night, the new Sydney Sweeny film, at a late night screening. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to never miss a video. We have daily film content, including movie reviews, movie news, and so much more. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button to never miss a video. Yesterday night, I had an opportunity to see the new Sydney Sweeny film, Christy. The film about Christy Martin, the pioneer in women's boxing. Now, going into this film, I wasn't expecting a lot. I know it hit the festivals. It got some pretty good reviews. I would say average reviews. I think it averaged around a 75% maybe. Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't always the best ideal platform to go off of. But it kind of got decent reviews, but not great. So I went in kind of mid, not really expecting a lot, but expecting to enjoy the film. What I got was completely blown away. I was not expecting this movie to be this good. Now, this is the second biop of a trailblazing sports entertainer, I guess you'd call them, or athlete. Because again, we had the Smashing Machine that came out back in October starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson about Mark Kerr, the UFC legend who pretty much was the pioneer of the sport. And now we have Christy, starring Sydney Sweeny, who is playing Christy Martin, who was a pioneer of the sport of women's boxing. So you have two, which again, this is a video of Christy, but we're just going to kind of take a second to compare. You have two films, rarely do you have two films of similar genres or similar stories. Again, biops are usually very different because you're getting biops of famous people all the time, but this is a rare occasion where you have two that came out within a month of each other, both about pioneers in sports of a fighting sport, we'll call it. So you have these two films that are very similar that we can actually compare. Now, honestly, for reference purposes, this movie is what I thought a Smashing Machine was going to be. Amazing. Hands down, one of the best films of the year. I think this one's going to be a silent sleeper. Not a lot of people are going to see this, I don't think. At least until probably January or February when the Oscars get announced. Because I can foresee right now, I'm going to call it, Sydney Sweeny is going to get at least one Oscar nomination, if not two. Because she did produce the film as well. So if this film doesn't get if she doesn't get a nomination for Best Picture, being a producer on the film, I think she will get an Oscar nomination for Best Actress in a leading role, because this shows a completely different side of Sydney Sweeny that we have yet to see, and it really shows her versatile and her abilities as an actor. Now, this film, again, like I said, it's a lot like The Smashing Machine, where we have a biop of a pioneer in the sport of women's boxing, whereas The Smashing was, pioneer of UFC. But this film went so much deeper than that. It was everything I thought The Smashing Machine was going to be. Because The Smashing Machine, don't get me wrong, it was a good film. Great movie. But it just didn't have, there was definitely parts they left out that was more about Mark Kerr. Now this here in Christy, it literally tells us the entire story of Christy Martin. It gets deep into the root issues and her personal life that really kind of was a foundation of her career and her as a person. We have this really great, drama about, or sports drama about, this person, and it's as much as it's a character-driven story, it's also just a really great boxing movie. Every fight scene in this movie is scene for scene, punch for punch, literally a recreation of all of her actual fights. Sydney Sweeny not only put on 35 pounds of muscle for this film to look like Christy Martin, she actually studied boxing and memorized every single choreography, because the fight scenes aren't choreographed in just a sense of putting on a good show. She actually memorized every single fight that Christy Martin had, and it really is identical. You put them next to each other, fight for fight. They actually recreated the fights as they happen, which is just mind-blowing, because these fight sequences are amazing in this film. We have quite a good bit of them. They show a very good amount of her fights. We see her personal struggles. We see everything that we could possibly want to see in a great biops. It literally is this is going to go down, I think, as one of the great boxing films of all time because of the Rocky series. And I feel like this film is going to be underrated simply because, not because it's not great, but because of its release schedule. Like right now, I feel like this film is not getting a huge release. I mean, it's going in a lot of theaters, but we're going up against Predator, Badlands, which I looked it up, and that's actually why I saw Christy last night instead of tonight, because of the screening wise. I got a lot of films to see, and Christy only gets like 3 or 4 screenings a day. At some theaters, maybe 4. A couple might give 5 if you're lucky. Predator Badlands gets like 12 screenings per day per theater. So again, there's a lot of other films come out this week. I think this one's going to be kind of pushed to the side, and it's not going to get the opportunity to be seen simply because of its lack of availability, which is something a lot of people in the movie community have been talking about online, and films that come out. Example, and we're getting a little off topic on this one. With Blue Moon, I had a fellow person I follow on social media talking about how Blue Moon came out, and within a week and a half, it was no longer in the theater at any AMC near him. Which I'm not surprised. Again, it has a star-studded cast and a legendary director, Richard Linklater. Yet the film didn't get but a week and a half in theaters. I feel like Christy is going to end up with that similar situation where it's not going to get a big theatrical run. And I think that this film will get a second theatrical run probably in January, come Oscar time, and we'll see a little bit more of a boost in that, but not a huge boost. And that's a damn shame, because like I said, this movie is so well directed. The script is phenomenal. It really, at no point in this movie did it feel like there was a misstep in tone, a misstep in any direction. It was just a flawless film almost, and it was just a great movie, and honestly one of my favorite films of the year thus far. I guess the direction was flawless, pacing was amazing, the cinematography was gorgeous. The capturing of this film was so well done. And Sydney Sweeney gives a career-changing performance in this film because, again, it's nothing like we've ever seen her do, and it shows her range as an actress. And I think that this is going to be the film that really kind of puts her on the map. And like I said, she's doing a lot of things. If you follow her career behind the camera as well, and just doing a lot of things to get movies made and really showing herself as an actress and as a pioneer in filmmaking, so to speak. So again, this film, I cannot recommend it enough. We are going to give this one a Ferris Bueller because honestly, I probably will go see this movie again in theaters if it's still screening, because that's how much I love this movie. Have you saw Christy? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let me know.